You guys have no idea how long it took me to get this fucker working. And we're not going to touch a goddamn thing over here. It looks kind of whack, but we can't touch it because I fucked it up too many times already. I had to fix the fucking camera again. More glue. Bro, my whole setup's fucked up, alright? I'm not rich by any means. I'm just a guy that is fascinated by knowledge, and I pay for books and shit to try to learn, but that's why I say I'm not special. I'm no more special than anybody else. I got some Jocko milk here. This shit's actually pretty good. I wish they would sponsor me, but I'm not. But it tastes like chocolate milk, bro. It's kind of crazy. I've never had a protein powder taste like chocolate milk with such little sugar in it. And that did sound like an advertisement campaign. How the fuck are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. We got the channel back last night. I recorded a pod yesterday, so there's going to be a triple upload today, alright? The other two are we had the bank. And the one with just me is from yesterday. And then I got this one today, up today. Now we're back on schedule because they threw us off schedule, but we fixed it. We fixed it. I was meditating this morning. Just give me a second. Got a little clog in there. I won't lie, my meditation's been a little scattered lately. On the weekends, I haven't been doing it. But I've been trying to get back into it. But what I realized today, with my eyes closed and my ears like being bombarded with noise because I had meditation music going, I'm shutting off our two major senses, which is hearing and sight. And obviously, the last three sensations you're left with are sensation of touch, you've got sensation of smell, and you've got the perception of I guess it is a sensation because it's a sense. So you got the sensation of those two, and then you got the sensation of taste. So you take these two out, that's already a vastly different reality than the reality that most of us live in. Because most of us can see, most of us can hear, but there's a lot of people who go through the world without being able to do one or other or the both, or one or the other or both. And so I was thinking, I want to know, and I know my brain can't fathom this. I know I post all this shit on my Snapchat just because I want to see this. I want to see shit, people posting this shit. Because nobody posts the way I do on Snapchat. I post long shit, yeah. It's a little long, or I post a lot of books or long videos. Sometimes I'll post memes, but I'm just posting shit I find either entertaining, or like I find it funny, or I find it interesting. That's why I'm posting it. Whether it be a thought or whatever it may be, alright? And I don't even care who sees it. Like, I care to an extent. I do look. I won't lie. I look. But I don't care to an extent to, oh, this person saw it. What are they thinking? No, I don't give a fuck. I'm just like, oh, they saw it. Cool. And then I just keep going on with my day. I don't give a shit. Because I do wonder what people think about what I'm posting. But unless they come up to me and talk to me directly, then I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to go to some random person's chat box and be like, what do you think about what I posted about this? That's weird as fuck. I got super glue on my fingers. You hear it? This is a normal finger? Wait, there might be. just sounds more sandpapery. But what were we talking about? So, I want to know what the fundamental nature of reality is. Because I've brought up the example before. Fuck, why does my ear hurt? Some birds see in ultraviolet. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to ask Grok because I watched a video on this the other day, and it was insane. There's a crab that can see in like 12 areas of the color spectrum or something nuts like that. What animal has the most color? This animal can see colors we can't even imagine what the fuck this guy is seeing. What animal has the most color receptors? See what Grok says. Mantis shrimp, that's what it is. These creatures have what are known as the most complex eyes in the animal kingdom. They possess 16 color receptors compared to the 3 in humans. Trichromatic vision. This allows them to perceive a broader spectrum of light, including ultraviolet and polarized light. Humans have 3 types of cone cells for red, green, and blue light, which allow us to see millions of colors. Some butterflies and birds have 4 or 5 types of color receptors, giving them tetrachromatic or pentachromatic vision, respectively. However, the mantis shrimp's vision system far surpasses these with its 16 types of photoreceptor cells. The mantis shrimp's visual system is not just about color. It also processes different aspects of vision like polarization and depth in ways that are still not fully understood by scientists. This makes their vision not only about seeing more colors, but also about perceiving the world in ways vastly different from any other known animal. These motherfuckers see the planet and the universe way different than we ever see it. These motherfuckers might be tripping all the time. We don't know. We don't have any idea. Let's fucking go further into this, though, because now I'm interested. What do we know about the mantis shrimp's vision? Let's see what we know. Complexity of eyes. Structure. Mantis shrimp have compound eyes, much like insects, but far more complex. Each eye is divided into 3 regions, the dorsal and ventral hemispheres for general vision, and a midband with 6 rows of specialized ommata, the visual units in compound eyes, for detailed vision. Color perception. They have 16 photoreceptors, we just read that. Ultraviolet and polarized light, we just read that. Ultraviolet, they can see into the ultraviolet range, can detect the polarization of light. The polarization of light, which helps them see contrasts and patterns that are invisible to us. This might be used for communication, hunting, or navigating. Multispectral vision. Their eyes can be... Oh, Jesus. I'm having a hard time reading. I still feel a little sick, I won't lie, but I did go to the gym today, so I feel a little better. I'm hoping to get a good night's rest tonight and be back on my shit tomorrow. So if I am, another podcast is probably coming because I'm reading a book and I'll talk about that too. We'll probably talk about that tomorrow too, but it's a good book. Multispectral vision. Their eyes can process different aspects of light independently, potentially allowing them to see channels of information simultaneously like different TV channels. Holy shit! That's insane! Oh my god! So they could be seeing an ultraviolet with one eye and then fucking seeing a different type of vision in this eye. That's insane. Or maybe do it in the same eyes. Who knows? This is wild. Okay, we need to keep reading. This is fucking insane. Depth perception. They can change the channels on their fucking eyes, dude. We have no idea what reality is. These motherfuckers can change the channels on their fucking eyes. What does that even mean? We don't know what that means. What the fuck does that mean? Oh my god. Depth perception. Stereopsis. They have excellent depth perception due to their ability to move their eyes independently, which is rare in the animal kingdom. This movement allows for a form of stereoscopic vision. Visual processing. Neural processing. The way mantis shrimp process visual information is still not entirely understood. Their brains must handle an enormous amount of visual data. suggesting highly sophisticated neural processing capabilities. These motherfuckers might be smarter than us. That's insane. Biological inspiration. Bio-inspiration. Scientists are interested in mantis shrimp visual for bio-inspired technology. Who cares? We don't understand their shit. Their complex vision might play a role in their vibrant mating displays and aggressive behaviors. The ability to see such a wide range of colors and light properties could be crucial for signaling and recognizing mates or rivals. Limitation. While they have an impressive array of photoreceptors, it's not clear if they perceive color in the same way humans do. Their vision may be more about detecting specific wavelengths for specific tasks rather than experience a broader spectrum of colors as humans do. The study of mantis shrimp vision continues to evolve with ongoing research aiming to decode how this intricate system works, potentially revealing insights into the evolution of vision and how complex visual systems can develop. I'm going to ask one more question, and then I'll put the phone down. Are dolphins and orcas more intelligent than humans? Let's see if these motherfuckers are smarter than that. Let's see. Let's see the summary. While dolphins and orcas display remarkable intelligence in various domains, particularly in social behavior, communication, and problem solving within their environmental context, human intelligence is generally considered more advanced due to abstract reasoning. Humans can think about things that are not physically present or have never existed. We don't know if dolphins can do that, so that's not entirely true. Technology and science, our ability to manipulate the physical world, we can do that, but they don't need to because they're moving through 3D space. Dolphins can move up and down, left, right. They can go wherever they want. They don't need to fucking push things around or build anything. They're chilling. And language, the depth and breadth of human language allow for complex thought and communication. They do the same thing. So there's no However, intelligence, not a linear scale, and different forms of intelligence can be better suited to different environments and challenges. That's a good answer. Because there's no guarantee that we're smarter than these motherfuckers. But my main point about reading all that was we don't know what reality is. We think we do. We see what helped us survive. That's how humans are seeing it. Like, we have these bodies, and what allowed us to survive to get to this point was seeing food, and the reward systems in our brains were bred for these certain things. It's like everybody's walking around like they're so sure. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why are we walking around like we're so sure we know what everything is? Like, obviously we could test and prove it with our science and shit, right? But then there's things we can't test and prove. And maybe one day we will if we get it to an advanced enough point. But there's no guarantee. Like, what is fucking dreams? What is that shit? You can't fucking harness a dream. I don't know if you'll ever be able to harness a dream. I don't think so. Just because, what is it? It's like the brain's shut off. Why are we in another dimension while we're sleeping? We're supposed to be recharging, and we're supposed to be getting ready for the next day, like physically and mentally. And yet our body and brain are choosing to lock us up so we're not moving and put us into this other dimension while we're in this state. It doesn't have to do that unless there's an evolutionary advantage for that. I'm sorry. I gotta ask Grok what it thinks the evolutionary advantage for dreams is. What is the evolutionary advantage for dreams? Let's find out. Memory consolidation. One of the most widely accepted theories is that dreams help in the consolidation of memory during sleep, especially REM sleep. When most vivid dream occurs, the brain processes into stimulation and rehearsal. virtual reality environment, essentially, emotional processing, creativity and insight, threat stimulation, proposed by Anti-Revansuo. The theory suggests that dreaming evolved to stimulate potential threats, allowing early humans to practice dealing with dangers in a safe environment. That's interesting. Social bonding and theory of mind. Dreams might also play a role in understanding others' minds, enhancing social cognition, maintenance of neural pathways. Just as physical exercise keeps the body fit, mental activity during dreams could help keep neural networks active and healthy. These are all just theories. They don't really know. But that's my point. Fuck. What the book? I guess I'll talk about this book I'm reading. I'm gonna pull it up here. I'm gonna finish it after I'm done with this thing. I gotta wash some dishes and shit. But it's called 0 to 1. Notes on startups or how to build the future. And what I've gained from it so far, it's like how to like, it's basically like telling you competition is essentially bullshit, because if you're trying to like build a business that competes with like Google, say you're trying to build a search engine, right? You're automatically at a disadvantage, all right? And the point of the book is essentially saying that our society doesn't look at things as there's a path forward and there's a bright future anymore. And that's why we are stuck in the past. We like look at like the 70s and the 80s and 90s as like a reference point, because that's when we were advancing and there was hope for the future. But we haven't really progressed forward. And that's what I've been saying and thinking, is because we haven't been progressing because we've been copying everything else. And then that's essentially the point of this book, I think, is that you can't copy anything else. You have to, if you want to create something worthwhile, and you want to create something that everybody's going to look at with awe and they're going to think, oh shit, I've never seen this before. You have to create something new. That's the only way. And he was basically talking about like disruptors and people who disrupt things get attention and shit. I don't know what he was talking about, a bunch of crazy shit. Just read the book. It's a pretty fascinating book. But I think the main point is that the only person you should be competing with is yourself. If you can create something where nobody else has done it before, and then you fucking compete with yourself, then you're out of competition with everybody else. There's no competing. Like, there's no competition right there. And he basically proves this through science and history, that why we believe this way and why we think that it's so crucial to have competition. My ear feels fucking weird. And it also made me realize that why Bago doesn't look as good as it used to, and why it never will, because it's talking about competition, right? And what I just said, if you make a market, I mean, maybe you make it in. There's always that slim chance that you make it in. I'm not saying to not try to make like another search engine or something like that, but the main point is if there's a bunch of other people doing this one thing, then of course people are going to gravitate to these other things like Instagram. So it's like social media is a good example. First there was just MySpace, and then there was Facebook, and then there was all these other ones, and now we all have a lot of them. So they're all competing for our attention and competing for our time. And that's the same, like, that's the same situation with Winnebago. Is if you look at the history of Winnebago, it started out as the first motorhome company. That's why, like, all other fucking RVs are called Winnebagos. There was no competition at the time. So everybody was getting their RV from this one company. That's why there was so much work. That's why it was such a boom. That's why I was like, holy shit. I talked to the older guys, and they told me that there was like 30 workers up in my area, and there was like 12 hours of work every day, and they still didn't get all the shit they were supposed to get done. And so they were coming back tomorrow, and they were working more 12-hour days, and they'd work 12-hour days every time. And then slowly, over time, people created more RV companies, and they had competitor prices and cheaper things and maybe better insurance or whatever the fuck they offer. You know, they always have these sales pitch and campaigns and shit. But then Winnebago starts to diminish and diminish and diminish, and it's such a big company. I don't think that Winnebago is going to go under completely. I don't think that's the only option. I was considering this before, the other day actually. I don't know why I said before. I was considering this because at first I thought that, Bago's just going to go under and that's it. No, I don't think so. I think that it has a chance to survive if it cuts all the bullshit out, cuts all the fat off, moves down to a smaller company. Like the plant in Forest City could probably be the only plant we have, and then you fucking cut everybody out, move them all to Forest City maybe, or just fucking, that's the hard part. You're going to have to get rid of people because there's going to be a lot of fucking jobs that just can't be, or there's going to be a lot of employees that just don't have jobs to fill. But it's just going to have to happen that way if the company wants to survive, and I think that's what they're doing maybe. I think they're slowly shrinking their shit down, and they're prolonging the inevitable for as long as they can, probably. And I think that's probably why they haven't shut it all down. Like, I think they could survive if they slow down and they fucking move it all down to a smaller thing where they're operating. That's a thing too. They're gonna have to accept that they're gonna get lower margins from this company, and companies don't like to do that. You see, they fucking hate that shit because the investors and shit, they all want you to get more and more money every year. So they're not gonna like this. But you're gonna have to accept that the company is gonna make lower and lower profit margins. So these RVs are gonna have to cost less, and that's going to allow you to get back into the market with these other RVs and these other fucking companies that are making these things because their prices are cheaper than Winnebago's. Winnebago's are fucking outrageously expensive. Let me ask fucking Google this. What's the cheapest Winnebago I can get? What is the cheapest Winnebago I can buy? Solus Pocket. Let's see how much this is. How much is the Solus Pocket Winnebago? $143,000. That's a house, dude. We can't even afford a house in this economy. So the only way they're going to survive in this economy is to lower that shit down significantly. And that's the problem with all these big corporations and big businesses and shit, is they keep going up. They're not fucking lowering their prices. They keep scaling them higher and higher and higher and higher. And people aren't going to be able to afford these prices. And then these companies aren't going to be selling shit. These companies are going to have an excess of product because who the fuck's buying all this shit? The working class and the normal consumer is like the major customer. So if we all can't afford shit anymore, they're going out of business. Like, well, who the fuck's going to buy it? Maybe the rich and wealthy, but they're not going to buy an extreme amount. For what? Maybe when you go out of business, but that's it. The economy is going to explode. I think we're in a recession. I'm going to ask Rock that, too, if we're in a recession. Let's see. Is the U.S. in a recession? Based on the information available up to September 19, 2024, there isn't a straightforward consensus on whether the U.S. is currently in a recession, but there are several indicators and opinions worth noting. Economic indicators. Some posts on X and economic analysis suggest that the U.S. might already be experiencing recessionary conditions, pointing to negative growth for multiple quarters, rising unemployment, and revised job numbers, indicating less job creation than initially reported. For instance, a user on X mentioned negative growth for 5 straight quarters, which by one definition would indicate a recession. Why are they going from members on X, though? That's the thing. Alright, let's just keep reading. Simulation and rehearsal. Wait. Oh, this is not where we're at here. Expert opinions. There's a mix of views. Some economists and market observers on platforms like X have argued that the U.S. has been in recession, citing the disconnect between Wall Street and Main Street, increased debt levels, and the struggle of average Americans. Conversely, others, including some financial analysts and media reports, suggest that while the economy might be slowing, it doesn't necessarily fit the traditional definition of recession yet. But I think they've changed that. I think they changed the definition of a recession. They might have. Don't quote me on that. Especially with references to specific economic models like the sum rule, which signals recession but also has its critics. Public sentiment. On X, there's a noticeable sentiment that many feel the economic pinch, suggesting a recession in the public's experience, even if not officially declared. This includes mentions of people working multiple jobs, rising debt, and a general feeling of economic contraction. Official determination. Recessions are officially called by the National Bureau of Economic Research, which has not declared the U.S. to be in a recession as of the latest information. They look at a broad range of economic indicators, not just GDP, but also employment, real income, and other metrics. So they're probably just gaslighting us. Future predictions. Various sources, including economic models and expert analysis, have predicted a high likelihood of a recession in 2024, with some giving specific probabilities like an 85% chance, based on models considering financial conditions, yield curves, and other economic factors. Given the mix of data, the official declaration of a recession hasn't been made, but there are significant economic challenges and indicators that suggest recessionary conditions, or at least a severe economic slowdown. That's it. Public and some expert sentiment leans towards experiencing recession-like conditions, even if not universally acknowledged as a recession by economic definitions or official bodies. So basically, what this is saying is we're in a recession, but nobody said we're in a recession yet. That's what the fuck this is saying, basically. But let's finish it up. Economic forecasts and some models are predicting or warning of recession, with ongoing debates about the health of the about the health of the U.S. economy. In summary, while there is no consensus that the U.S. is officially in recession as of September 2024, there are certainly economic distress signals, and a significant portion of the population, along with some experts, feels or predicts that the economy is in or headed towards a recessionary state. See? That's what I just said. They didn't say nothing, but we're basically in a goddamn recession. So, yeah. I don't know what to do, man. I don't know. I just keep working. Keep trucking along. That's all you can do, man. What else are we supposed to do? You fucking try to change shit and fuck keep trucking along. All you can change is yourself, so you just work on yourself, educate yourself, create your own shit. Try to help the planet in a better way. People are going to try to stop you. They try to stop me. But nonetheless, we prevail. The fucking greatest country on planet Earth has to prevail. We can't not have this thing prevail. Come on now. And if this thing doesn't work out, we better make something better. Right here. I don't want to go nowhere. This is the best goddamn place to be, man. I haven't gone to the gym in 2 days. 2 whole days. And my body was tweaking in there. I was sweating hard. My heart rate was up. But felt good. And I'm hoping I'll feel better tomorrow. After I sleep. Shit like that. Because there's a certain point I've found I found over these 5 years of working out that there's a certain point where when you're sick, if you just work out in that, like, when you're getting better, there's like a certain point. There's like a dedicated point, and it's hard to find sometimes because sometimes you misjudge it. But if you work out too soon when you're sick, then you'll fucking fuck yourself up more. But if you work out like right when it's getting away, then you'll fucking help clear it out. And it's like that's what I'm doing. I'm just self-experimenting, man. That's all you can do. My dad does the same thing. My dad told me this funny thing one day. It was kind of funny, but it scares me at the same time. I won't lie, but it's funny also. But he's got diabetes, and I walked in one day and I saw donuts on the counter, and I was like, he was telling me about how he was drinking pop and stuff. I was like, don't you have diabetes? And he's like, yeah, but I'm experimenting with it. He's like, one day I drink this, and then if it spikes my blood sugar up, I don't drink it anymore. And then the next day I try something else. It's just how my dad is, and I guess it rubbed off on me, man. Self-experimentation is just, it's how we got here, to be honest. Like, there was no rule book back in the day, and there's still no rule book now, to be honest. We just have like dedicated things that, like, oh, this is bad and this is good and this is what we're trying to kind of follow. Like, obviously you should follow like a moral code, like treat people with respect, then fucking treat animals and trees and all. Just treat everything with respect, all right? Just treat everything with a sense of respect, okay? Try your best, because I fuck it up sometimes too, but just try your best. If you fuck it up, get back on the horse and try treating everything with respect again. You just got to keep fucking, it's like dealing with a kid. You got to keep drilling it in your own fucking brain, dude. That's how progress is made. You got to keep drilling it, keep drilling it, keep drilling it. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, self-experimentation is how we got here, because there was no, especially back in the day, there was no scientists, there was none of this shit. Everybody was a scientist, everybody was a doctor. Hey Siri, when was it mandated that you had to go to medical school to be a doctor? 1847. That's not that long ago. That is not that long ago. That's like 100. Let's do some math here. Let's do some math, because I don't want to do that in my head. That's too much. That's just too much. Way too much. Let's see. 2024 minus 1847. 177 years ago. That's two human lifespans ago. So when my grandpa was alive, no, that's really wrong. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. 177 years. Humans, so it's two full human lifespans, basically. So it's 100 years and then 77. So it was a decent amount of time ago, but it wasn't that long ago. And then 100 years before that, not even 100 years before that, the country was being founded. That's crazy. Let's do that math. Let's see it. Let's see it. 1847 minus 1776. 71 years. So another human again. What the fuck? We're not that old. China's way older than us, but hopefully they don't take all of our shit. They're already doing it. I heard this thing the other day that it was a podcast I listened to with a car guy, and he was talking about how the Chinese are raised with no like consideration for, and I don't know if this sounds racist. I'm not trying to be. It's just what I heard. They have they're raised with no consideration that like of property theft, like stealing people's ideas. So like if like we say there's an idea that's spawned in the U.S., they're just gonna take it because they don't have any idea. Like, oh, that's wrong. Don't do that. In their moral code, they have no feeling towards that, because it's like, oh, innovation. We're just gonna make our place better. That's like how they're thinking. They're just making China better. They're not considering anybody else. Like, they don't really give a shit about anybody else. And that's how most humans have thought for most of human history. It's just, hey, My family, that's it. And that's kind of how they're thinking on a mass scale. It's like my tribe, and that's it. And so they would like go to like these car shows, and for like 10 minutes they would be measuring out the cars and measuring every piece of it, the steering wheel, the seats, and they would get all these measurements and then just go and copy the car in China, which is kind of crazy. And if you look at how they do things, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to why they just they just suck up all the information and shit, and then they just make it better. Like if you see their phones that they have now, their phones in electric cars are way better than ours already. It's insane. Their electric cars have way more mileage. They have way more fucking everything. And then their phones, I saw this flip phone, not a flip phone, but it's like a foldable phone, like Samsung does, but it folds 3 times, and it folds small, like it folds thin as shit, but it folds 3 times to a giant tablet. Instead of this little tablet that Samsung's got, it's this giant tablet. They just figure things out better. That's why the Chinese regime is such a hard motherfucker, because they kind of do what we do. Like, they do this capitalist communist shit where they let people do what they want to do, but everything's through the government. So, and that's kind of where we're headed. That's what's kind of scary. Because we were supposed to be free people, and it was supposed to be this for the people, by the people, the government was supposed to be. And it's not looking that way no more, my friend. It's not looking that way. It's starting to look a little worrying. Because once they get their grimy little fingers on stuff, it's not too cash money. I'm going to see what we're at, because I got to go do some goddamn dishes and shower after this. We're almost done. We're at 3:37 already. Didn't feel that hard this time. I genuinely think I'm getting better. You want to know what I'm going to fucking talk about for these last few minutes? I was thinking about this when I was at work this morning and when I woke up, because I was like, my throat does hurt a little bit. Like, are my tonsils inflamed? So I look in the mirror, and yeah, they are. And so I remembered I had looked it up before, and I had talked to my dad about this, because it doesn't make any fucking sense to me why we do it. I probably sound loud as shit, and I'm sorry, but we take our tonsils out, right? And it doesn't make sense to me, because tonsils are a part of our immune system, and they're part of our respiratory system. They catch viruses and bacteria that are going to make us sick in our mouth, in our nose, that we inhale, essentially. So these things are here to catch that bacteria, and when our body and our immune system catches something, it gets inflamed, and it starts to fight this. So we call it this disease, and we take them out, and it makes us more comfortable. But why do we do it? Like, it's just our body's response to a disease, or not a disease, I shouldn't say that, but it's our body's response to basically our immune system fighting something. So why are we taking it out? It just doesn't make. It's like why we put okay. So why did we put the dinger, the beeping in the fucking seatbelt thing? That signal where if you don't put your seatbelt on, it's like beep 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 beep, and it's fucking annoying. And so you just so fucking annoyed you put your seatbelt on. That's basically what the fuck our immune system's telling us with these tonsils. It's like, hey, I'm feeling like shit, buddy. Like, calm down for a little while just so that you can get your ass back in order. And you gotta listen to your body and be like, okay, I'm sick. I'm obviously fighting something. And if you work out and like you're in tune with your body, like I have a hard time feeling my body sometimes, but when it like catches a sickness or something's off, when like I've said before, if my perception is off in any way, even if I think I'm autistic, I swear to God, because I put my shoes on and my shorts on after work. I changed my truck. It's legal because it's private property inside your vehicle, as long as nobody sees you. But I changed my shorts, put my shoes on to go to the gym, and my shoe was really tight. And when I was driving, I started like my brain could not stop focusing on my fucking shoe because it was way too, like, not way too tight. It wasn't like suffocating my foot tight, but it was just tight. And I was like, that's bothering me. I don't like it. And then I was like, what did I think? What did I think? Hold on. I had a specific thought. It was like, it was something crazy. Like, all I can think about is how my shoe's too tight. And then I was like, that is an autistic ass thought. Like, why the fuck am I thinking so hard about my shoe being... I was driving. I was like, why am I thinking so fucking hard about my shoe being tight? I need to focus on the road and get to the gym. And then I just got over it. Like, I didn't untighten it or nothing. It's just something I got over. It's like our brains try to hijack us. It's weird. It's weird as shit. But we've talked about that many, many times. I'm going to end this thing so I go do dishes because Cheese is going to be home soon. I like to just be chill when Cheese gets home. Because when I get off, I get to chill for a little bit. I get to have some time to myself. But when he gets off, I'm already off. So I'm already I'm already hypered up and shit. So I like try to stay calm and like just let him chill out for a second. And then I just fucking, we go do some shit or something. Then he's fine. We start talking. But yeah, I'm gonna end this thing. Go do some dishes. Shower. You already know. Love you guys.